Everton led at half-time against Manchester City at Goodison Park, but Phil Foden helped the citizens come unstuck against the Toffees. He got the equaliser and they kicked on from there. All 3 points for Man City. We're going to go back to Goodison Park and hear post-match reaction from Foden.
Phil, wonderful support. How do you sum up your night?
Yeah, well, I thought we played really well in the first half. It seemed to be the same story in the previous games. But, you know, the manager was big on at half-time to just keep believing. We haven't got this badge for no reason, you know, so we have to believe in ourselves because we're a top team. And I think in the second half, I think we blew them away with the way we played. But, you know, I'd like to praise Everton as well because they've been doing really well recently and they're a top side and they make it difficult. So yeah, really happy with the result. Difficult place to come.
Did you catch Jordan Pickford by surprise, do you think, with your shot?
Maybe, because I hit it so quick. Yeah, maybe I caught him by surprise, yeah. I don't know, I'll have to see it back. It happened so quickly. I was just delighted to see it hit the back of the net.
And after that, was it the mark of champions, the way you grew into the game after that?
Yeah, I think we needed that first goal that I scored to just give us momentum. And I think after that, like I said, we blew them away and played tremendous football, so really happy.
You're having this great run in the team right now. Is this as consistent as you've been? Is it as good as you've felt?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Probably. I've had a good run of games. And you know how much I like playing in the middle as well. And thanks to the manager, he keeps playing me there at the moment. And long may that continue because I enjoy it every time I play in there.
And there might have been a second for you as well.
Oh my God, so close. I hit it so well, and on another day it hits the post and hits the inside of the post and goes in. But the most important thing is that we won, so I'm delighted.
And a touch of class as well from Bernardo.
Yeah, mate, he's a tremendous footballer, one of the best footballers I've seen. Because he's not the biggest, he's not the strongest, but the way he uses his brain in the game, it's something that I always try and learn of. So tremendous football, and it's so important for us.
Well, these fans will believe there's more to come and another title to come. When you look into the second half of the season now, what do you feel? And obviously key players to come back in. Yeah,
we've got massive players to come back in. You know, the likes of Earl, Doku, Kev as well. So we've got 3 important players there to come back. And
Erling Haaland.
Yeah, Erling. Yeah. When they come back, hopefully it'll make the team stronger, and we need them at the moment because we're short on numbers, so looking forward to when they come back.
Phil, well done tonight. You are the player of the match. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Erling Haaland, remember that guy? Nearly didn't. Seemed like he just forgot about that. And another subtle reminder there from Foden, we haven't got this badge for nothing. They are Club World Cup champions, and they certainly in the second half showed that they were always going to have the composure to come back. Phil Foden got them underway.
Most definitely, and you have to go back to what Glenn said, I think, earlier in the show, where he said they've come off a run of bad games in the Premier League. They've gone away to the Club World Cup. They won both games, become world champions. So that is a confidence booster in its own. And for me, they needed all that confidence in today's game. They had to stay patient. They couldn't get frustrated because Everton made it really, really difficult for them.
Let's look at Foden's goal, the one that equalised and levelled things up. He had 7 shots tonight. Everton as a team had 7.
He likes playing more central, and I think that's the reason why he gets so many shots when he plays in that central position. I love the fella. I think he's a great player. I really do. He was asked the question if he saw Pickford, because we've highlighted Pickford's body weight is going the other way. I think he thinks he's going to curl it into the opposite. You see his right foot there, his body weight is all on his right foot. You see it here, but and Foden just whizzes it back in that near post, and Pickford has got no chance. Once his body weight goes on his right side, he hits it so well, so flat, and with so much pace, and it's a really super goal. It really is. And what a good player he is. What a great player this young kid is.
He really is. He's tremendous, and he's somebody, I think, I used to speak to Jolien all the time, and Jolien used to coach him when he was younger and in and around in the training ground, and they used to have to ban the balls from being around him because he wouldn't go in after training. He would just stay out there for hours and then working on things like shooting, passing, first touch, and it's all paying off. It's all coming out in the games now.
At that point, it's 1-1, and Man City they awarded a penalty.
Yeah.
Did we agree here in the studio that it should have been given?
I'm with Don on he was co-coms Don Hutchinson. Where can he go? He's half a yard off the ball. He's trying to block the ball with his body. He's trying to put everything on the line to get the block. That is not, I don't know where we're going with handball. I really don't. If that's been given, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, if he didn't give that, I don't think VAR reverse it back the other way. And I think the rule has to be changed. It's not always VAR that is the culprit here. These rules are deliberate hand. What's wrong with deliberate handball? It makes it so much easier for the referees as well. And I'm sitting at home watching games and I'm thinking, matches are being determined. If it happens in a World Cup final one day, perhaps we'll sit up and make sure we have to change the rules. There's so many times now, nobody in football knows what a handball is anymore.
I'm in agreement. I'm unsure of what's a handball and what's not. Especially because when you see some of the decisions that have not been given over the course of the festive season right now, so it's intriguing.
But there's a rule now that's making defenders put their arms behind their back. Onana cannot he's trying to block the ball. He's not going to put his arms behind the back. If you're standing and there's a shot coming from 3 or 4 yards, you've got time to think, all right, I've got to put my arms behind. We don't want to see that. Young generation of kids are going to have to defend with their arms behind their back. They're off balance. They're going to break their shoulder if they're trying to block balls like that. It is ridiculous. We've got to, we've got to tear up that rule and go back to deliberate handball. No one in football, in my opinion, a referee or a player can say that was actually handball.
Let's put that to the
intentional
test.
handball.
Let's put that to the test, shall we? Because we have a former Premier League referee, Dermot Gallagher, with us right now.
Good.
And Dermot, we're going to put you under some pressure with the hard questions. Glenn had a very interesting one, which said, if that was not given, do you reckon VAR would have turned around and said to the referee, you should have looked at that?
I think the VAR would have given a penalty, Jules. I looked at one replay. I said straight away they'll give this. The reason I say I'm in 100% agreement with what Glenn says about handball. It's not the referee's fault. It's not the referee's doing. It's the referee's problem. And the problem, I think, Jules, is that IFAB have tried to define it and make it so clear-cut on what is handball, so precise, that they've actually made it more complicated for the referee. Yeah. Because one of the things they say is his hand above his shoulder or head? Well, you look at that, and his hand's at shoulder height.
Where's he meant to put his hand?
Glenn, I get that.
I agree. I'm really pleased that you've said that you're saying that they would give it still a penalty. But it's the rules that need to change. Do you agree?
And I think, Glenn, I'm 100% in support of it. I think that's the problem. It's not the referees. It's not them driving this forward. It's what they've been told to do. It's the IFAB saying, is the arm above the head or the shoulder? Yes. Is the arm outstretched? I mean, and look how complicated they've made it, Glenn. In the last year, they talk about the silhouette, the T-shirt line, and all these things. It's so difficult for a referee. And I think inevitably we're moving more and more towards what you see in the Champions League.
Yeah. But Dermot, does proximity not come into that? Even though his arm, it wasn't way above his shoulder, it's sort of almost level. But does proximity not come into it? No player on the earth could actually get out of the way. He's trying to block it for his team. Look, he's trying to get there. The ball is half a yard away. It's hit his arm. There's no deliberate handball there. If we can make the rule deliberate handball, no one can say that's deliberate.
Glenn, I can't disagree with you. I can only tell you what the referees have to do. And I could go further than that. I tell you, if that had been England playing Denmark in the Euros, that would also be a yellow card, because the argument from the referee would be that shot is on target, therefore he's stopping a shot on target.
But it wasn't on target, it was going over the bar.
Well, they will say it's going on target because it's going forward. That's how difficult it is. And that's why I say it's not driven by the referees, it's the position they've been put in.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
I feel like we could be here talking about this the entire night, but we do have to let Dermot go. Thank you so much, Dermot, for clarifying that for us.
Thanks,
I love you, really.
Oh, God bless
you. Well, the penalty was awarded and Alvarez did manage to score it and City went into the lead. You're going to talk us through this.
Yeah, they did. It's a brave penalty going down the middle, I think, personally. And he gets lucky. Pickford dangles his legs and it just hits it and goes underneath. But it's gone in the back of the net, and it's something City needed, especially while they were on top at that moment.
Only his second Premier League penalty, and he has scored both. The turnaround in just 11 minutes. At that point, City sitting pretty, and then Bernardo Silva still had time to finish with the flourish.
This is why City are so good. They have these purple patches. I mean, Pickford here is the culprit, really. The deflection gives... look at that, sorry. That is a fantastic finish. But the touch there. There's the touch. That's got to go out there. left side of his body. He's left-footed. He's poor touch. The deflection comes, but Bernardo Silva, fantastic thinking, beautiful finish. Look, his shirt's being pulled, everything. He keeps his balance, doesn't go down in that circumstance because he knows he can score. But it was a wonderful finish, it really was. But it was all down to Pickford not putting the ball in the first touch in the correct position.
I just feel like sometimes he could have even kicked that out after that touch. He didn't need to try and go up the field. He could have kicked it out for a throw-in, but even though, just clear it first time, the ball's coming back to you, just get rid of it, clear your lines and start again. But now a lot of keepers like to play with their feet, take the first touch. Not every goalkeeper's capable of that, and I think that's what they have to somehow understand. He can't do what, say, like an Edison does or a Nana does. He has to play a different way to them.
Back-to-back defeats in the Premier League for Everton leaves them just 1 point clear of the drop zone. They lost 3-1 to Manchester City tonight. Post-match reactions from their manager, Sean Dyche.
Sure, commiserations. Is the frustration having taken the lead, seeing the game plan start to work, you couldn't quite see it through?
No, not at all. They're a very good side. We know that. They virtually every game they make chances. You've got to try and stop them chances. We didn't do. Penalty's an incredible one, but look, we could debate that all day. It's been debated endlessly by the managers. We've had a Zoom call with the powers that be to say it's a farce where it's at with penalties, but that's the way it goes. It went against us. We just hope we get one back. We haven't had a penalty, so it'd be nice to get one.
Well, we saw it with Amadou, with Onana, the actual penalty incident, and the guys have been talking about it. It's what's an unnatural position, I suppose.
Well, you get that, but even before that, that's completely natural. He's not even putting his hand up to save it. He's not putting his hand up to get in the way of it. He's literally throwing himself to try and block it for your team. How that's given us a penalty is just bizarre in my world, but then I must be from a different planet, because on Saturday the linesman was 8 yards from a decision, no decision made. They would look at the VAR 6 times on a screen, give the decision that's in his ear. Tonight the linesman gives that and he's 50 yards away. So go figure, I don't know who's giving what anymore.
Is it the officials who are the problem, or is it the law in this case that's the problem?
Who knows? All the managers are debating it. We all said on a Zoom call months ago that what is going on with it. I keep hearing about IFAB and all these people, but someone's got to stand up at some point and realise that can't be a penalty, because he's just throwing himself to try and block the ball. That's it.
And the frustration is, of course, it's the turning point in terms of City that can then take the lead.
Yeah, they've come out second half. They've played much longer. They're playing diags. They're chipping in behind us. We didn't deal with that beginning point as well as we had done. First half, I thought we were very good, but tactically. We affected it. We chased it. We have a great chance from Dom to get back in it. But then when they go against you, it's very tough. You know, the first one we could probably do a bit more with, the corner from the shot from distance. I think Jordan edges one way and it goes in the other. But the penalty changes the feel of the game. It changes the feel of what's going on. And once their nose in front, they're a hard side to get back into.
Sean Dyche calling the penalty bizarre for Manchester City. And Everton, confirmation, just 1 point outside of the drop zone. Luton play ahead of them on Saturday.
Luton are in a good form at the minute. They keep picking up these results and making things difficult for a lot of people, especially at home. So I don't think it's going to be an easy game for Chelsea going there. I know that much. And that is enough, what you just saw on the screen, to perk them up a little bit and say, come on, boys, we can get out the relegation zone for the first time here. And that's all they need for that extra push. They're pushing teams already. So to get that little bump out of that, it will cause all sorts of problems down there.
Yeah, and as for the penalty being called bizarre, yourself and Sean Dyche singing from the same hymn sheet.
Yeah, I think he was talking about all the managers as well. There's something's got to be done. For the sake of football, the rules have got to change. It's not always VAR's fault. They've got to go by the rules. But that example, Onana's example there, and to think that in Europe that would have been given a yellow as well is ridiculous. Can we just go back to deliberate handball? And that would make it so much easier for the referees. It would make it so much easier for everyone in football. And I just don't understand where we're going with this handball scenario. It's getting ridiculous. And in fact, it's dragging people down. It's not enjoyable anymore to watch games, because penalties are massive, goals are massive. And if they're turning on these sort of decisions, matches, this will happen in the World Cup final one day. And a team will win on something like this. We've got to make sure that doesn't happen for the future.
Well, for Everton, it may as well have been. It was as big, because at that point it was 1-1. And the one positive for them was, of course, that Jack Harrison goal, which started it all off tonight.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was a combination of errors from the City perspective, but in general, what Everton done when they got the ball was they was direct. They went for the juggler, they pressed, they harried, and great balling from Anil, and that's a great finish from Jack Harrison. And that's what you need to do against City when they're all sorts. You need to try and take advantage of it, and that's exactly what they did there. And if you see the highlighted people weren't picking up, like Ake didn't come across, nobody was scanning around, the run off the back of John Stones, and that's where the goal came from.
It's a lovely finish, though, because we have seen other clubs. I think we highlighted Chelsea a little bit, missing chances like that.
Yeah.
And Harrison hasn't tried to hit it too hard. He's just, the pace is on the ball. He's just guided it into the bottom corner. And it was a really good start for Everton. You're thinking, wow, it's going to test City. But, you know, as we've said, they ground them down. They went up a few gears, and they just had too much in the locker for Everton in the end.
Well, that leaves Everton fourth from top, Manchester City, back into the top four, back into domestic action, back to winning ways. Here's their manager, Pep Guardiola.
Well, Pep, tell us your thoughts about, the whole performance tonight. What do you think?
Really good. Coming from we come for a lot of emotions for the World Cup, and we played really well. The first 25 minutes, we have a clear chances. In this type of game, is really important. We know how pressed it is the stadium, and after we concede a goal, for the only chance they had, and after we struggled 10-15 minutes, we have to control better. So quite similar, like we scored the second goal. We suffered a bit. Of course, they changed the five in the back, and our main freeze was not when it was before in the back, but a really important victory to be there. And many things happened the last week especially, and in Saudi Arabia, you come back here, no rest, and yeah, really important, this victory.
The victory is so important, but the way it was done as well, after going behind, you were given a real test tonight.
That happened many times, so we played really good in general. So this season, and many games we could not win. The performance was quite similar, but the second half, the guys read perfectly the way we should attack. They close inside to put more direct to the wingers and make a runners, wingers, runners, and the quality of the players, they did the rest.
That's 11 points from losing positions now in their last 7 games for Manchester City, battling back to win 3-1 at Goodison Park.